First Watch now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So I want to start off by thanking our sponsor, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. They have just signed on to sponsor this show for another year.
A big shout out. Thank you, SSVC. This is a great opportunity for the Sheriff's Office, public safety, community to come together for 1 hour every Friday and share our information, and they allow us to do that. So thank you to Jason Bowling over there, the president, and all the leadership team over at SSVC, and all the team members over there.
And also, we just got news that Jack Blair, the Vice President of Member Services, is retiring, so congratulations on his retirement.
Congratulations, Jack.
Congratulations.
He's been iconic over there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's our go-to guy when it comes to outreach. And I worked with Jack over the years. And those that don't know Jack, he's got quite the impressive background. And I encourage you, I'm not going to speak on his background, but I encourage you, if you know Jack, and because we all know Jack, but to ask him talk about what his past was all about, pretty impressive. So Jack, you've earned that retirement. Congratulations.
And there's a full story about him on the KWCD website. You can find that at kwcdcountry.com, and it has more about his background. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a nice background, but he served SSVC very well, and also he served this community well. And when you see the SSVC donations out there for what would be a rodeo, what would be our charity ride, youth event, Jack Blair is behind that one way or another.
And, you know, you're right. You've seen him all of these years that I've been here, and I don't know, how many years has he got at SSVC?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I bet it says in that article.
I bet it does. Yeah. So I'm just saying he's been here as long as I've been here, and man, that's a pretty long time.
But you're very young, Carol.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I put that disclaimer for you.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
So some of the other things you're doing for out in the community is last night you were at Sierra Vista, the city of Sierra Vista, and you were doing something fun and exciting. I
did. I had the honor, and let me just say that, honor to swear in Clea McCall, the new Sierra Vista mayor that took office last night, and that was supposed to kick off at 5 o'clock over at City Hall. So I left the Board of Supervisors, had a meeting there. So I left there to run over there and do that, and he was calling me, and they changed it to the library. And one of the reasons, they had an elevator issue at the City Hall, but more important is there were so many people that it was standing room only. Grady, you were there, but what a nice welcoming to our new mayor. And I got to give a shout out to Mayor Rick Mueller. I worked with Rick for, I think he was there 12 years, I believe it was, as mayor. I gave him a shout out last night. I'll give him a shout out this morning, too. Thank you, Rick, for your service to the community. He's been steadfast. Anybody that led through COVID, for example, the many things he's done in this community to grow Sierra Vista, work in partnership, he's done a great job. So now we look forward to Clea. Again, it was an honor to swear him in last night with his wife, Ramona, because she's getting sworn in, too. I don't welcome to politics. But, again, I wish him well. Clea would do very well.
And our police academy has started, and the sheriff's office has 7 recruits.
Yes, we do. We've got 7 recruits in our police academy. There's 27 total. It's one of the bigger classes. And so we have Sergeant Ty Hernandez has been the class sergeant since last 3 or 4 classes, does a really, really good job. And then we have an RTO, which is a counselor. You're supposed to have one for every 8 cadets. And so the Service PD has 1, we have 1, and then the college, actually, thanks to the college, actually hired a retired law enforcement officer. So there's 3 counselors down there, too. So big class, but that's even better. It shows that with recruitment, retention being a challenge, the college is stepping up to work and help us solve that problem.
And also want to remind everybody that we are still hiring. There's signing bonuses and including detention.
Right. We're coming to the end of the signing bonuses, so we're kind of, we'll see what happens here. I mean, we got a certain amount of money, finite money. Right now, we'll see if there's going to be any left, but don't let that stop you. I mean, it's a great place to work. And put your application in. We're probably better than most in this aspect. I think it goes to how we market, the best recruiters I have is the men and women that work here and this radio show, of course. So we have 3 openings in patrol. That's pretty good. That's really good in today's world. So 3 in patrol, and then I think detention has a few more than that. I can promise you. So please, if you're looking for a job, you're looking for a great place to work, put an application in. You go to the Cochise County job opportunities at HR, and you'll see them right there. Fill them out online.
And another academy that's starting up is a dispatch academy. Tell us about that, Carol.
It is. So we have 15 students that are scheduled. We have a couple from Douglas, and the remainder are from the CCOM area, I guess, because they're actually hired as City of Sierra Vista employees. So the unique part about this is the recruits for ours are very similar. It's going to mirror the law enforcement academy. So they're being paid. So they're getting paid by the City of Sierra Vista to be dispatch trainees, and that's for the duration of the academy, which is 6 weeks. And then after that, then they have the opportunity to go into CCOM to be dispatchers and or to Douglas PD. They're going to start as trainees, and then obviously they're going to have a training period after they get in there. But it's a good way to get them out of the chaotic environment and into a controlled environment, to help them learn, to help mentor them, to help, walk them through some difficulties, and just give them a little bit of a leg up and some background so that they are not cold walking into, I guess, the middle of everything, because it's daunting. That's a tough job, and got to give a shout out to everybody who works in there. CCOM dispatchers and any dispatcher, but specifically CCOM dispatchers, have a lot of pressure on them to do good things every minute of every day, and talk about being the face of our little nation here, but that's definitely them. So we just appreciate everything that they do in trying to get them help, because they've been so short-staffed for so long.
A little background on CCOM. I think it's important as we put this out there. CCOM is a regional communications center that was put together between the partnership from Cochise County, i.e. the Sheriff's Office involved in that, and the City of Sierra Vista, i.e. the Police Department and Fire Department. So that's the partnerships, and then we have subscribers, all the fire departments in the county. I think most of them all, but maybe one or two. And again, a handful of police departments. The National Park Service is on that. Fort Huachuca utilizes that in an aspect of the IT background. But either way, it's a regional communications center. So CCOM's, it's got its own autonomy. It's got its own board. Every city manager sits on that's involved. I sit on that. The police chiefs, fire chiefs, EMS have an operational board or committee now they call it. So that's what governs the Regional Communication Center. The county and city actually have a partnership where the county does the IT background for CCOM. We have a person over there that helps with IT. Also, the facilities and the facility upgrades, and the city does the finances and the HR. So we split the duties. So yes, the city's paying that, but it's actually CCOM. I just want to clarify that, because they're CCOM employees, but the HR runs through the city side of it. So I share that because there's so much confusion by many people. You're still a CCOM communicator, and so the people that work over there. But, and this is, this was a hard thing to bring all these personalities together. Let me just say that. So, but the growing pains are a good one in the fact that we're working together for the good of the community. When you can call 911, you have one-stop shop instead of having to be transferred like before. No, it's right there. You're in the center, so you got police, fire, EMS sitting right there for you.
And another one of the partners is Cochise College.
And Cochise College, yes. They just become a partner doing this academy and training our folks. So, again, I can't say enough about Cochise College and their partnership. I saw they're breaking ground for the academy here, for the driving track. We have been looking for a driving track for many, many years, and they got a grant through the state of Arizona to get this driving track. So we're excited. The city gave up some land to build it over there by the college. So, again, as we move forward, we just see the advancement of our training here in Cochise County.
Let's talk about some burglaries that are happening in Cochise.
Yes, and this goes not just for Cochise, which is a little rural community off I-10 east of Dragoon area. We're getting some burglaries over there. One victim's been hit twice now. Very sad. It's bad enough you victimize them once and you go back again. So we're working on these cases. But anybody out there, see something, say something. I have so many people tell me, yeah, I saw that suspicious car. No. We had a case here a few months ago where a car pulls. They saw the car going back and forth in front of the residence. This is here in the Hereford serviced area. And the car finally stopped at the residence, opened the RV gate, and parked their car in the back behind the RV gate and shut the gate. The neighbor who's sitting in his office, in his house, it's a house office, sees all this, saw him scouting it, saw it, but he assumed, it's an elderly couple that lives there, He assumed it was the landscapers because they were so comfortable the way they did it. Well, the 4 suspects, they went around, kicked in the back door where the elderly couple was home when this happened. So they hit 911, scared the hoot out of them, which I totally respect. And I was only about 2 minutes away, got there, and the neighbor came over and said, hey, yeah, I saw all this. If you see something, and this is not critical to him, but if you see something, say something. Call 911. You will never bother us. Let's get a unit there. Or you never know. We could have a deputy 1 block away, or Service to PD or Border Patrol. We all work very, very close together, or even a trooper.
And if it was the landscapers, no harm, no foul. At least people know that they can't be acting hinky in the neighborhood.
100%. I'd rather say it's a safe than say, hey, we didn't call. So get us involved. You are the key to open that door for us in so many ways.
And one of the things that we're looking forward to is going to be our next guest is Martin Luther King coming Monday. So you're going to be part of the Martin Luther King walk like you do every year.
Yeah. I don't think I've missed one. And it's a strong component of our community. I will be out there Monday at 10 o'clock doing the walk. But then that's open to all the community. So I invite you, if you're listening today, and get your kids, get your families, come out and do that walk, and let's help unite this community. There's enough division in this country. Let's come out there and support that.
And remember that a lot of businesses and government agencies will be closed on Monday. And if you're Monday trash, put it out on Tuesday. So stuff like that, too. So it's also a day to celebrate and take off as well.
That's really good you hit the trash. That's good.
You like that? Yeah. Well, let's give your border update.
Well, we had the opportunity on behalf of National Sheriffs to have some urban city police chiefs come to Cochise County and spend a day with us. They came in last Monday, spent Tuesday all day with us. We had the opportunity. Border Patrol was there. My team was there, myself, and these chiefs and national sheriffs. So we talked about some interdiction programs that's going around the Dallas area, which is a big hub for drug trafficking, human trafficking, some really bad things going on there. But there's 8 sheriffs out there around Dallas that are just really putting it together. So we heard about their program, and we talked about our programs here. But again, it's another way. And let's face it, when the drugs come across the border, or people being trafficked across the border, young kids, they are going to these urban areas in most cases. So we got to have our urban police chiefs engaged with us. And so, again, it was a very productive meeting. It's nice seeing these police chiefs. They're no different than a sheriff, or Chief Adam Thrasher was there with Assistant Chief Cosmeyer, and they're no different than any of us. We all have a job, and that is to protect our communities, whether it's a community of 100 or a community of a million. It's irrelevant.
And were they surprised at the second part of that event when they actually went down to the border?
They were. And we took them to a spot where there's a cartel scout within 3 football fields that looks at us. We look at them, but we can't touch them because they're in another country. But this is a different look. If you've never been to our border, it's a different look. It becomes normal to us. The pursuits, the things we see here are normal, sadly, to our culture because we live here. We've accepted it, but we also address it accordingly. It's different to them. And I went to New York, New Jersey a couple of years ago and presented to the I-95 corridor, the Drug Task Force corridor, and then I went out into the communities into the urban areas with their law enforcement. What a difference. That's the byproduct. We don't stop it at the border, and it was a sad deal what I saw up there.
One of the other things that you did this week is, as you were dealing with border issues, you had about 4 interviews on Wednesday, and dealing with border and dealing with school safety. So tell us a little bit about school safety, because that's one of the things people always are interested in, but there's a grant that Jackie Clay has written and getting everything off the ground with that.
Well, people say, I'm an energizer, and I don't, if people ever called me lazy, I'd be upset, but my competition is Jackie Clay. She's got a lot of energy, and love her, man. She's just great. But Jackie's got a mental health grant that helps kids in needs in schools. That works very close to what we do. If we go to a school and there's an issue, there's a good chance Jackie and I are dealing with the same. So we want to make sure that we're complementing each other for the good of the child and the good of the family. So that's what we're working on. Credit goes to Jackie Clay on that one. We also have a grant for $1.3 million from the state for school security, which I've yielded that grant that was coming to the sheriff's office to Jackie Clay and all the school superintendents around Cochise County to come up with what's the best proposal for all the schools. So I'm waiting for that back, and we're going to submit that to the state. And I just had a conversation with the state this week on that. So again, we're double hitting both the school safety side, the mental health side. I mean, for a rural county, I mean, kudos to Jackie Clay for what she does and all the superintendents in this county for helping our kids.
And she's coming on. She's going to be a guest here in a little bit. But you guys work so closely together. You even did a field trip to the northern part of the county to address a concern a gentleman had, maybe about some issues with the school being too close to his yard, and it was not a pleasant conversation when he reported it multiple times. But to address that, you and Jackie physically went up there together, and she was kind enough to take him, her recommendations and a Christmas mug. It was just before Christmas, so that was a good thing.
It was, and we went up there and addressed an individual that's upset with the school. The family's lived there forever. It's an ongoing issue where he's got a lot of issues with kids. He's got a lot of issue with the school and others. And I even talked, showed a lot of discipline and restraint, because some of the things he said I thought were very inappropriate. I'll just say that, and I told him that. I'm not going to hide behind that. But we did it. We did it as a team for the good of the school. We did it as a team for the good of him. And I tried even the holiday spirit to get a little bit of movement on that, and it didn't work. So again, some people are who they are. They really are. We just got to identify and recognize that. But in the meantime, I mean, the kids, while we were there, were walking by, talking, hi, I mean, these are kids. They're innocent, sadly, until impacted by an adult. But so again, Jackie's my partner in a lot of things we do in this county.
Next, we're going to talk about the jail district, and this is something we've wanted to be completely transparent from the beginning, including a committee that was formed last year, and they've gone through their paces, and now we're in the next stages of the jail district.
Yeah, special election, I think it's May 16th, I believe it is, somewhere, I'm pretty sure it's May 16th. That'll be a special election coming up to approve a half-cent sales tax to support a new jail, which is 4 decades old. And so we did a meeting yesterday, excuse me, to actually do the final touches on the outreach, the factoids that we can share with the public. We're going to be going around the county to every community strategically, to a group of us, to actually address what's going on with our jail for the community's benefit. And then we'll see what happens in May. I feel really good. The alternative is, and we talked about this yesterday, is if the voters vote it down, what's going to happen one way or another? We think the courts will intervene and say, this jail's got to go. And then we're in a pinch mode. We have to do something on the front end of this because, again, we've outused this jail, no doubt about it.
And so the jail district tour is going to be in Douglas, Benson, Sierra Vista, Palominas. Am I missing one? I think I'm missing
Sierra Vista.
Sierra Vista, of course, yeah. So this is your chance as a community to come and ask questions, to get a presentation about what is wrong with the jail, and we will supply information, FAQs, all of that. So it's going to be a really neat way to find out yourself about the jail before you go vote.
We've spent a lot of time, actually since the time I took over, this is my 11th year as sheriff, to actually work on putting transparency to the public for this jail, because it's their jail. It's not my jail. It's their jail. They've entrusted me to run it, but bottom line, it's their jail. So we want to make sure we reciprocate that back and get that information like you're talking about, Grady, and that's what this is all about. Talking to experts that got us to where we're at today. Now we need to share that those facts back out.
And so that's part of a big project that has been going on, like a lot of projects that people may or may not know about, that the Sheriff's Office has been working on. So we have a wrap-up of 2022 coming. Grady's putting that together. We're going to put that out to the public. Not going to bore you, but just give you highlights of things that have been going on in our department for the year, and then we're going to make it broader for our internal customers, so our people that work with us, because there's a lot of statistics and things like that people took a lot of time and effort to put together, and we want to make sure we include that. So I just wanted to say, we made it through 2022, barely, but we made it through 2022, and it's going to be good once you see all of the cool things that are going on.
A lot of good things. And just to wrap up, I know I missed this when we hit the border thing, Grady, was the fact that in 2022, in regards to our border, 1,581 people were arrested and put in our jail. That's the ones that were booked in our jail. There's other charges that never made it into jail, maybe cite and released, but 1,581 were booked in our jail for border-related crimes. That cost was $4.3 million. And thanks to Governor Ducey's relationship with Cochise County, he's been helping us pay those bills. So that's a really good thing. Sad, but good that the taxpayers aren't absorbing that cost right now. But it shows you that law enforcement in Cochise County has united to do the right thing, and that is protect our citizens. The stat tells it all, and I just can't say enough. I think we've made a difference. I really do. You're not seeing as much as we did when it comes to it, and that's based on the efforts of the troopers, the city police departments, Border Patrol, of course, and then the sheriff's office. So thank you to all of them.
And before you go, Sheriff, I know you want to talk about bus safety for your safety message.
That's the safety message. Folks, as school got back in session here for the second semester, I was heading to work the other day, I think it was Monday, and a school bus, Palomino school bus, was stopped out on 92. I'm right behind it. It turns the yellow lights on, which is the cautionary. That means, hey, the bus is going to be picking up kids. Then the red lights came on, the stop sign came out, and 2 cars blew right by it. And so I flipped on it right away, stopped both of them, which is tricky for a law enforcement to get both of them, but there's a way to do that. Stopped both of them and addressed it accordingly. But bottom line is this, you have to stop. When that bus turns the yellow lights on, you need to be, just like a yellow light at an intersection, that doesn't mean accelerate. That means slow down, prepare, because you're going to stop. And then when that red light comes out and that stop sign comes out, whether it's 2-lane or 4-lane, you have to stop. I mean, unless you have a divided medium or in the middle or something, and even then, if it's reasonable, stop. And one of the drivers made a comment to me, well, I didn't think they'd come across the highway on our side. These are kids. We don't know what they're going to do. There's a reason we're doing that. And so you can't ad-lib your reason why you went through it. The law states you will stop. So that's a serious violation, and no more important is you hit a kid, it's going to get serious. So please, let's keep our kiddos safe. Stop for those school buses.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks, Grady. Thanks, Carol. Everybody have a safe week. See you next week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Tim Ash from the NAACP.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Tim Ash, for being here. We appreciate you showing up today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here to put some information out about our event coming up.
All right, well, first let's talk about the organization you're with. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Greater Huachuca Area Branch NAACP. I'm currently serving as the first vice president. I have previously served in the positions of, for a short stint, as president and second vice president, but currently supporting Stephanie Walls, who's our current president.
And what does your organization do?
Very simple. Our organization really is established to provide and support equality, not only in from a criminal justice standpoint, political equality, and we seek to support injustice and the disenfranchised across our community.
And, of course, on Monday, we're celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and that's the event you have coming up. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. We're really excited this year to bring back the full event, the march, the parade, and the events at Veterans Memorial Park here in Sierra Vista. It's going to be an exciting time. Past couple of years, it's been virtual. But we are really happy to have it back and do the march along Martin Luther King Boulevard and have the events in the Veterans Memorial Park this year.
What are some of the things that are going to happen? So you're going to start the walk at about 10 o'clock?
Yes. We'll start the walk at the park. We'll assemble there, and then we'll proceed down MLK Drive. We'll have walkers or marchers as well as colorful floats, and usually a couple of motorcycle clubs will show up in their colors, so will be exciting.
Good. And then do you go back around to the park and then you have events there as well, or is the march your major event at that time?
The march is a major component, yes, and then we'll come back to the park around 11 o'clock. And then we'll start the program. The program will include our mayor providing the reading the citation for the holiday, along with a number of prayers. We have musical groups, and we also have someone who attended the original MLK speech, I Have a Dream.
I think that's the coolest part. So you guys are going to play the I Have a Dream speech, and then that person's going to speak about being there.
Absolutely.
That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too as well.
Okay, so it's going to be on Monday, so go ahead and invite everybody to the event. Give us the times and locations of where everybody should be.
January 16th, Monday, at Veterans Memorial Park, starting at 10 o'clock. And we really, really hope you can all come out. This is a community event, and it's really celebrated as a day of service, not really a day off. So we're hoping to see you there.
And there's going to be food as well. We got to make sure everybody knows that.
Be food.
Yeah,
so
food.
for everyone, not just those attending the event.
All right. Well, Tim Ash, we thank you for coming and talking to us today and telling us about the event.
Thank you, Grady, for inviting me.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Miss Jackie Clay, Cochise County School Superintendent, and her PIO.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest, Jackie Clay, Superintendent of Public Schools. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you've also brought a guest. Introduce your guest to us.
My guest, or our guest, is Cynthia Myers. She is one of our team members at the office. She's the outreach coordinator and program. She basically directs all the programs that we have outside of the office that has to do with the community.
Well, welcome as well this morning.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And remind us what the superintendent office does.
The superintendent's office, basically, we support all schools. That's charter and unified school districts, but we still support our private schools too, and also our jail and detention center, and our jail detention. Yeah, I think we got it all. But any student that has to do with education, any organization that has to do with education, we provide support, advocacy, and anything they need to move forward. And we also advocate for the people up in Phoenix. And we receive a lot of phone calls from citizens when they don't understand something, or sometimes we'll listen to issues and then we'll bring it to the superintendents or the principals. You know, sometimes we mediate. So we're kind of like the middle mama bear type person. So we serve.
And you do serve, and you're very community-oriented, which is why you have a community outreach person. So tell us what you do at the office. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but let us know.
So my role in the office is to really outreach into the community, not only work with the superintendents, but also work with the teachers and community members, getting information out about different programs and services that are available to them, whether it's technology, upcoming grants, scholarships, and things like that.
And you guys have a conference coming up, and that's the reason you're here, is you want to tell everybody about this conference. So what is the conference?
Coming up next Friday, January 20th, is our Innovations in Education Conference. It's an all-day event. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and runs till about 4:30. We have about 34 presenters and 24 exhibitors, and so it's just going to kind of be an action-packed day of education, innovation, and connection with educators, community members, and resources.
And who do you want to attend this conference?
The conference is open to everybody, and that includes members and students within our community. The idea is really just to have a day where everybody can relax and come and share and innovate with ideas and learn about different technologies, things that are coming down from the state, things that we have in the community, other resources that are out there. It's great because we also have a lot of teachers that do other things on the side to build interest in science and technology and math, and they'll be there presenting and sharing with other educators and students and community members.
So how can people get information about the event, or is it tickets they need to get? What do we need?
The day of the event, there will be a registration that's open from 7:30 to 8. We also have a SurveyMonkey link that's available to go on and register for the conference. It is up on our website and also on our Facebook page, but they're welcome to contact me at the office, and I'll be happy to get the information out to them.
And what is the website, and where's the Facebook?
Well, so our Cochise County website has, for the superintendent's office, we have a web page, and everything is on the web page. And then we also have our Cochise County School Superintendent's Facebook page, and the information is there.
All right, so that conference is coming up, and make sure you attend. Also, Jackie, tell us about the Board of Education appointed position by the governor.
Oh, yes. Now I am on the Arizona State Board of Education, which means that we have a voice. All right. That is an appointed position by the governor. But what's so great about it, it's not about me, it's about Cochise County. Now citizens can go on the Arizona Board of Education website. If there's an issue that they have, all they need to do is call me. I'm their family. And they'll say, Jackie, I don't like this, or I have issues with this. It can be pulled and it can be investigated. And we have a voice in education now. So please use me, because that's the reason why I'm here. People don't understand rural education. They don't understand border education. They don't understand us. And that's why I'm up there, to get them to understand who we are. We are not urban. We are rural, and we are very, very special. So please use me in that area. And I also wanted to say something about the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference is for all of us. It's like a family reunion. It is a mental health day. It is a time for us to learn with our educators and say, is that going on? Yeah, that's going on. Well, tell me more about it. Is this what we need to do? Yes. Well, let me go ahead and give more information, or let me tell you how I can support. Education is not a spectator sport. Everybody has to play for our county to move forward, to move westward. No one should be telling us what to do. We need to be a learning community so that we can reach the goals that we want to reach, so our kids will not be exported, but we will keep them in here, and they will be our future leaders. We can't do that as educators on our own. We can only do that together. So thank you in advance for your interest in coming and just hugging and loving and listening and learning and getting some massages and talking to teachers and exhibitors. And anything you learn, take it back to your superintendent and your board saying, hey, why aren't we doing this? Or I have an idea. Because the thing is, educators and educational leaders should not be making decisions by themselves. That's why we have the conference. So you'll get all that information, and you can go to the board meetings and ask why, and we should, and how come, and I will help, and we will build, and we will grow. This is the reason why we have the conferences. So please, it's not just for educators. It's for all of us to sing the same songs to our students so that they can live to their potential. We need to give them motivation, direction, and purpose so that they can take our place.
I could listen to you talk all day. That was wonderful. Also, in conjunction with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office, you've received a safety grant. Tell us what that's going to be used for.
The safety grant is basically for all of our schools, charter and unified school districts, to put connectivity between the schools and the sheriff's office, and also any of our police stations. It's going to be a big project, but that's the foundation of what the grant is for, connectivity, because we have schools, ladies and gentlemen, as far as Portal, 2 more than 2 hours away from us. And it takes the sheriff maybe a little less than 2 hours at full speed to get to Apache School District or to get to San Simon or any of these school districts that are far away. We have things put in place, like WhatsApp, where all of us, we talk to each other if there's something's going on, but we needed the sheriff and all of our law and public safety people involved so that when something happens, they can get to that place quickly. Not only that, we're going to have it where the schools are mapped so that the sheriff's office will know what that school looks like on the inside and what are the best exits. And all that information is quick. We're looking at panic buttons in all the schools. They can press something and you don't have to use a phone. And we'll have help on the way there. We're going to have software for reunification. You know that one of the biggest issues we have when there's a lockdown and there's a lot of things going on, a child is in the bathroom, but they needed to be down the hall with Mrs. Robinson, but Mrs. Robinson had to shut the door, so he had to go into Mr. Tom's room. How do we know where that student is? Well, now we're going to have software to track the students because that's a big stress on educators. Where's my student? My student went to the restroom. Oh no. Now you have parents. Where's my child? So all of this software and other type of softwares will be available to our schools. And we're doing that at the county level in conjunction with our amazing sheriff who, when he got the money for the grant, the first thing he did was defer it to us. He deferred it to me because I was the expert. And what did I do? I deferred it to the superintendents and said, what do you need and what do you want? So we're still huddling, trying to figure things out, listening to vendors, trying to figure out who is the best, who will give the best, I'll say, bang for the buck, with still the interoperability that the grant says, which is the basic things that we have to do. But there are other things that they need that they don't have the money for that some of these vendors may be able to offer. So that's why it's so important not for us to make decisions on our own at my office. I never make decisions by myself. I'm not the expert. The community is the expert, or those people who are actually in the foxhole every day dealing with those issues. They are the experts. So we don't tell people what to do. We're family. We talk about it. So hopefully that answers your question. Well, we should be safer. We should be safer than we are right now. And the other thing is we have a mental health grant that also is in conjunction with the safety one. We received $1.3 million for that. We are hiring a director. She's going to pull everything together, talk to the schools, get assessments, what type of mental health issues do we have, who do we have to hire, and then we're going to start hiring psychologists, speech therapists, occupational therapists, et cetera, to give services to the schools, because as of right now, schools are being charged crazy prices up north. We have one school who pays $80,000 a month, $800,000 a year for mental health services.
Wow.
We are going to bring that down to, I call it yellow page prices, nonprofit prices, and we're going to hire people in our family to take care of our schools within the community, and we're also going to have a crisis team. So there's a lot of things going on, and I am blessed to have Cynthia working with me, because that's just, these three things that we're doing is just part of what we're doing, and that's a lot of, that's on her plate and in her wheelhouse. So hopefully she doesn't run away from me and want to quit, because we have a lot of things to do in our office with a very small staff.
Well, Jackie and Cynthia, we do thank you for coming and talking to us today and catching up with the school district. Invite everybody out to this conference one more time.
Yes, so next Friday, the 20th, from 7:30 is registration. Conference begins at 8 to 4:30. Please come on out to Cochise College. And the Student Union Building is where everything will be happening, and we'd love to see you there.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.
Careful.